Listening is one of the easiest module in IELTS, but still students struggle to get a good band score in this. This video is intended to all of the students, whether you are a very good user of English, whether you are not a very good user of English. This video will help you to achieve, yes, I am saying it right, you can also achieve 9 band in listening. You just need to keep in mind 3 or 4 things which I will be telling in the video, and I will be talking about every set of questions, whether it is MCQs, whether it is fill in the blanks, whether it is map. You would be getting help in all of these. So let's start this video. So the first step is highly underrated and very least used by most of the IELTS tutors and the students also. But I would guarantee you one thing, that if you start doing this every day, after every test of listening, you would be seeing a very significant improvement in your scores. So what is it? It is reading audio scripts. So first of all, what are audio scripts? Audio scripts are basically the script of whole audio that was played to you in the listening test. These audio scripts are given at the last of the Cambridge books. When you will be doing all of the tests, in the last pages, all of the talks are given to you word to word, that which word they spoke. By reading that, you would be able to easily analyze where you went wrong and what things you have to do more as to get a better band score in listening. Do one thing, that play audio one side and one side just keep on reading these audio scripts, as it will be improving your concentration level, and also you would get to understand the words, the fluency, the pronunciation in a better way. Always read the questions and all the options in advance, because it will always prove to be very useful, because you can make up in your mind that what things they would be saying, and at that time you can just identify the answer and mark it there. The next step is about let the things go. Many times what happens is that students are not able to keep up with the pace, and they leave 1 or 2 questions and they just get stuck on that particular question. Just leave that question and go to the next one, so that your next question also doesn't go wrong. With this, a lot of students lose 1 or 2, sometimes 2.5 band, because they just get stuck to the earlier question. But you have to go to the next one so that your next doesn't go wrong. Now let's talk about few tips for multiple choice questions in listening. So the first tip for you all is read the questions beforehand. Read the questions before the starting of the audio, so that you can keep in mind that what they want to say and what kind of things could be said in the audio, so that you can particularly analyze every of the option and mark the correct answer. Second tip is underline the keywords. You are given a question, a statement with 4 of options. You should underline the keywords from all of them, because when you will underline the keywords would be same in the audio. You would be able to understand that which option have they talked about. So at that time you can mark that answer correct. The third tip for all of you is analyze. After reading all of the options A, B, C, D, what you have to do is analyze. Analyze in your mind that what each and every option says, that what it wants to tell you. Okay, analyze that from all of those, because sometimes what happens is in tougher listenings, the words change but the ideas remain the same. So you have to check out what idea every of the option wants to tell you, interpret that, and after that mark the correct answer whichever matches that idea. Okay, the next step is elimination technique. It is a very helpful technique that all of you should be master in. So the 4 options that are given to us, for example, I mark A, B and C, D. We are given with 4 options. The same technique also works with reading. There are 4 kind of options given to you. The first one, that is correct. Okay. The first option, that is correct. That is the answer. The second option is in which 50% of the information is true and 50% of the information is wrong. The third option that is given to you, it says false thing, means that it is negative in nature. It is totally opposite. And the fourth option is not given, I would say. This goes similar like the reading, but not given over here means that about that nothing is told in the listening. So what you have to do is you have to eliminate all these three options and the rest that is left to you is correct. But sometimes what happens is the listening is very fast. Okay, the audio is very fast. You are not able to particularly understand that what answer could be there. So at that time, just mark the answer that you have listened at last. Just mark the answer that you have listened at last, because most of the times what they do is, first of all, they explain all of the options to you, and after that at the end they mark their opinion, that what they want to say, and at that time whatever option comes, that is the true one. So the last tip is the most important one over here. If you miss any one of the question, just skip. If you miss any of the question, just skip, because just getting stuck at one question can make your other 2 to 3 questions wrong also, because once you I would say lose the track of audio, you would not be able to match up with it again. So be in the track with the audio so that you do not miss the next questions that are coming up. Let's talk about some tips that you can use in IELTS listening blanks. So the first tip is article. I have written a and the over here. You have to keep in mind that what article is before the blank, and according to that only you will be writing the answer. Okay, for example, in the first example we are having a before the blank. It means that there would be a common thing. A common thing that would be coming up in the blank. For example, there is a dash at school. So there can be something like function, party. Okay, these kind of words can be there and they should be singular, because a is before the blank. There would be something singular and common in nature. So these are the answers that could be written over here. You have to keep this in mind. Next, he has an dash thing to tell. So whenever there is an before the blank, you have to keep in mind that only vowels will be there in the starting of the word, which will be a, e, I, o and u. Okay, the words starting with these letters would only be written in this blank space, and you have to literally keep in mind. The next, it is starting from the. So whether it is a and the, something singular will be there. Okay, the dash park is in USA. So the mostly signifies something particular. Okay, something particular that they are talking about. There can be the best, the most beautiful, the clearest, the cleanest. These kind of things can be there. Moreover, there can be a word, the word also. For example, the dash park. There can be the Preston Park, the President Park. Okay, these kind of things also can be there, because the signifies something particular. Okay, the next step in blanks is you have to keep in mind singular and plural. What have they spoke in the question? You should completely understand that, because if your S or ES gets wrong, for example, in any question S or ES should have been there, but you wrote in the singular form, that would be wrong. And same goes vice versa. So you have to keep in mind whether they spoke S with the question or not, because this completely makes your answer wrong. The answers are checked computerized in the computer form. So whatever is fed into the computer, it will be doing that thing only. You have to keep in mind is, am, are, was, were, has, have. If has is there, is there, am is there, and was is there, there would be something singular. And if there is are, have or were, then there would be something plural. So this is how you can minimize your mistake of singular and plural in IELTS listening blanks. Two more tips that you have to keep in mind is, the first is spellings. If there is a slight mistake in your spellings, for example, you had to write blanks, but you missed S from here, or you missed K from here, you wrote blanks. At that time, your answer would be completely wrong, because there is computerized checking. A slight mistake would also result in the wrong answer. So keep in mind that your spellings should be correct. If your spellings are very much wrong, you make a lot of mistakes in spellings, try to do dictation every day so that you can be good in writing spellings of English. Okay, this mistake should not be there, because I have seen most of the students who do this, they lose at least 2 to 3 band. They are able to recognize that what the answer is, but due to the mistake of spellings, their answer goes wrong. The next is, the words you write, there should be complete understandability. There should be complete understandability, because sometimes some students write A and O in the same form. Like there is A is also like this, their O is also like this. So at that time, they are not able to distinguish. The computer is not able to distinguish that what you have written. Okay, so for this, your A and O, every kind of letter should be completely understandable. Like you should use capital letters always. Please use capital letters always, because when you will be using capital letters, it can be easily understood by the computer. Okay, keep this thing in mind. Okay, so these are the things. Now let's talk about maps. The next is about maps, that how you have to do maps. So particularly, I would just be giving tips over here and overview, that what kind of things you have to keep in mind. Okay, the first thing when map is given to you, besides that, make a small kind of this north, south, east, west, so that when they talk about the directions, you can easily go from one place to other, that which direction they are telling about. So if they talk about northwest, it would be here. If they talk about northeast, that would be here. If they talk about southeast, that would be here. If it is southwest, it would be here. Okay, these things are also be to kept in mind. You should know about what is left and what is right. This is left, this is right. Okay, so this is also important. Directions are the most important over here. You should just keep your pencil on the map and go with the flow, that where they are talking. If they are telling you to go downwards, go downwards. If they are telling you to go up with the street, go up with the street. You have to understand the vocabulary of location, that how you mark particular location, how you go on to particular location. That kind of things are to be kept in mind while doing map. And in map, if you miss one particular location, for example, here you miss the location. Okay, at that time your whole map would go wrong, because in this, the main thing is keeping up with the flow. If you missed this point, for example, this is point C. If you missed this point, you could not know that some particular thing is answer of this. You did not get to know about that. After that, they would be saying the similar word and saying go up from this and go to right. If you don't know about this, how will you come? Okay, so you have to be with the flow in the map. Your one particular answer should not be wrong over here. Keep full concentration, do different kind of map questions every day, so that you can be very good with this kind of question. So these were the few tips that you need to keep in mind as to get a very good band score in IELTS listening. I have told you tips regarding each and every type of question. So the last thing that rests up to you only is now practice, practice and practice. Practice the most. Don't do whole listening. Try to do one kind of particular question, one section in which you find the most problem in, so that you can work on those problems and get a good score in your upcoming IELTS listening tests. Okay, and I hope that all of you would have liked this video. If you liked this video, you can also join our online classes. I have written all the details below in the description box. Thank you everyone. Hope you liked this video.